How's it going, everyone? I am Splatterfoot1 here with some more of Pokemon news, so let's get right into it. So, a new Pokemon Presents had came out and, with some more information, but I didn't really see the presents this time because I wasn't home at the time it came out. But obviously I saw the trailer instead. I saw the trailer for the what was it called? The Welcome to Paldea region trailer. That's what they called it. So now we know the name of the region. It's called Paldea. Interesting. Yet another region without an O in it. Just like Galar doesn't have an O in it either. So yeah, I'm not really sure what order I'm going to be covering these. Oh, also the overview trailer. Overview trailer, is that what it's called? Overview. Yeah, it's pretty much also a trailer. Just more like a in-depth trailer, where they explain it in more detail. That came out around 1 day later. So, yeah, I guess the first thing to start off would be the Pokemon. So first of all, we got Fido, or Fido. Yeah, I guess Fido would be it. Yeah, so as you can see, there's Fido, which is a pure fairy type. That is the height, and that is the weight, and the ability is Own Tempo. And so we also have descriptions as well, so let's get into those. So yeah, as you can see, we got descriptions, and maybe I should just pull up the page here so I can actually see. Yes, the page. On. Oh dear. Here's the page. Okay, Fido. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. I mean, it's like a pun, you know. Fido and Fido. So, this Pokemon has a moist, smooth feeling to it. Elastic qualities. I'm not gonna read them all in full this time because you can see them. But yeah. It apparently has this ability to change size and stuff. And another Pokemon that's basically food themed. I mean, we got Appleton in Gen 8. So yeah, and then we also got like various other ones as well. A lot of them are fairy type as well. And of course, this brings up another question of like, do people eat these? Because they're like Pokemon and we like use them as well. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, another one of those. I have a feeling that people are gonna like this one. So anyway, next one is Set Titan, and I'm pretty sure I'm saying that one right because I remember it being said in the overview trailer. And actually, yeah, now that I think about it, Fido was also said in the overview trailer. So yeah, Set Titan. This thing looks kind of interesting. Definitely. This is an ice type, pure ice type. There's the height, and there's the weight, and the ability is Thick Fat and Slush Rush. So yeah, got descriptions for this as well. So let's pull that up. Okay, so with these So with this Pokemon, you can tell that they're going for a more stronger appearance. You know, it's talking about strong muscles and all that, and how strong it is. So you know, this Pokemon could be pretty strong. Pretty strong. Maybe it's like, I wouldn't say it's like a final evolution. Maybe it's like a middle evolution. It maybe even be part of a two-stage line. Honestly. I could totally see it being the first form of a two-stage line, rather than the first stage of a three-stage line, because it still looks not basic enough for that. But yeah, that's Sit Titan. But this next one is not really a new Pokemon. This is more of a form. So yeah, a form, not a new Pokemon. This is the Paldean form of Looper. So now we have Paldean forms. These are, you know, like, they're continuing the concept of regional variants. They started them in Generation 7 with Alolan forms, and then we had Galarian forms, and now we have Paldean forms. So yeah, Paldean Rooper, and I think that's pretty much the only Paldean form so far. You can see that Paldean Rooper looks quite a bit different. So let's pull up its page, and this is a poison ground type. So yeah, doesn't really look like a poison type in my opinion, honestly. I mean, you think, I don't know, like rock maybe, or ground, but well, you know, normal Looper is already ground, isn't it? So there's the height, there's the weight. I'm not sure what normal Looper's height and weight are. I'm not gonna look it up right now, but the ability is Poison Point and Water Absorb. So yeah, descriptions for this as well. So it says about like how they're covering their bodies with a poisonous film. So that's what that is, and that's why they look like that. You know, you think like, but you know, you'd think like poison form. You know, it would look like purple or something. Well, I guess it is a bit purple if you look at those things on the side of his head, which are now a bit different. Almost look kind of bone-shaped, honestly. Those are sort of purple looking, but yeah. Not every single Pokemon will have, like, its general color scheme matching its type, so yeah, be careful of that. So yeah, this is a alternate form of Looper. So that's pretty cool. So next up, let's talk about the, I'm gonna look it up on the trailer, the overview trailer, because I think that's a better place to look. Where is it? I'm looking. So yeah, the legendary Pokemon from there's a lot to go through. There's a lot to go through these. Like the legendary Pokemon are like you seem to obtain them very early on, but at the same time, like not really. You know like what happens with the ride Pokemon in Gen 7, it seems to be a similar situation to that, except, like, you use those Pokemon, but you can't, like, really use them, because, you know, they're not really yours. They just kind of appear, do one thing, and then just leave. It seems to be a similar situation to that, except, you know, these, they don't leave. You get to keep them, but not use them. So they're like yours, but not yours at the same time. And another thing I have to mention, well, okay, well, first of all, in the last video, was it the last video? No, I think it was the video before that. I didn't say the names right. I think it's Koraidon and Miraidon. And is the correct names, I'm pretty sure. But like, okay, so here's the thing. I chose Miraidon, right? That's the one I want to get, and I definitely think that was a good choice, because, I mean, you know, as their visual design implies, they turn into, like, vehicles, and you first of all, let's just point out that neither of them are using their wheels. They're like, they both have wheels on their bodies, but like neither of them are using them. But you could sort of make the argument that Miraidon is actually sort of using its wheels. Like, Miraidon is just flying through the air. Its legs and wheels are not even touching the ground, and it's just flying with some sort of energy, like slightly flying along the ground. Whereas Koraidon, also I hope I'm not getting these mixed up, this looks really silly. It's using its legs to like run across the ground, even though it has wheels, so it looks far more silly, I would say. Definitely strange for legendary Pokemon, but they're still cool. They're still both cool. They're still both very, very cool looking. And they also have like different forms for like I think like when you climb and stuff, but also like when you're gliding. So they turn into hang gliders, and you can like float down very, very slowly. You can get like really, really high up. Kind of reminds me of some of hang gliding you can do in other games. Like, I think you can do that in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. You can do that there. So yeah, you can see that. I'm probably not showing it to you right now, but in the trailer though, the overview trailer, when they do that, you don't seem to be able to see too far away. So, you know, the world's not that big, or it seems, or at least you don't get to be able to see too much of it, which I guess is fair. I mean, what are they gonna do? Have the entire thing loaded in at once? This is still a game, not some animation or something. No, this is a game that you play. Anyway, next up, well, we have one of the gym leaders. We very briefly talked about. One of the gym leaders is named Grusha. So yeah, that's one of the gym leaders, the ice type gym leader, and uses one of the new Pokemon we see, said Titan. And another thing is, in the brief gameplay we see of that battle, is said Titan has no level shown on the health bar, which is very, very strange. Actually, it only shows the health bar and the name, which is really strange, because normally the health bars of opponents are, for the most part, exactly the same as the health bars of the players, with the exception of you not seeing the experience bar, because, you know, there's no reason for that, and you not being able to see the exact number, only the bar. And everything else about the health bar is normally the same, but this is very different. They are purposefully obscuring the level, and considering that this is like being talked about as like an open world game, you would think like you would be thinking about like how a level is gonna work, like opponent levels and your levels. But so them hiding the level is pretty interesting. I mean, it could just be, yeah, they're just hiding the levels and they don't want you to know, but okay, but if that's the case, like, why? How's it work then? Or it could just be like, the gym opponents, or maybe even opponents in general, don't work using levels at all. Maybe there's like level scaling, but I think it was confirmed that there's no level scaling. So yeah, I have no idea. See, this is like the thing, like, of course, you know, the game's not out yet, so like, you kind of just have to like guess with this kind of stuff, based on the trailer. So yeah, next up, let's see. Need to pull up the page because there really is a lot here, a lot to go through. Wow, there's a lot to go through. Really cool. So the first thing, with regards to what you do in the game, you know, besides the usual Pokemon stuff, it seems like you're going to be attending some sort of school. That's what one of the big buildings we saw in the first trailer was. The big building with the giant Pokeball at the top, and there's a little symbol on it, and that symbol is symbol on the building, sort of like a shield-like symbol, and it's different depending on the version. So you can see both of those on the screen right now. So yeah, this is so this seems like what the main thing you'll be doing, and it says something about a treasure hunt. Yeah. So I'm not sure like how this is going to be working. So like maybe you'll get like some sort of assignments or whatever, you know, go look for the so and so thing. I mean, they do say treasure hunt, so you're gonna be looking around. You know, that's kind of the thing you would want to be doing in an open world game. But you know, this is every time I think of this whole open world thing, I keep thinking of like, oh, but like levels though, levels. You're gaining EXP and then you level up, and then opponents have levels. So like, you know, you gotta. I can't stop thinking about that because like that matters in, and like how that would work in open world games. So I'm very curious how they're gonna do that. But like, yeah, so with this whole treasure hunt aspect, they're clearly definitely encouraging you to just go around and look around. So yeah, here we have some new characters as well. We have Clovell, right, who is the tech director of the academy. Yeah, so I guess we'll be seeing him a lot. And how do you pronounce this? Jack? It's J-A-C-Q, who's a teacher. Okay, right. And also, even more new characters, so I guess these are more like sort of rival characters. We have Armin and Penny. So more new characters, obviously of different personalities, in addition to Nimona, who we already saw. So like, they also, in addition to the whole treasure hunt thing, they also mention how it's like split into 3 things. So first of all, here they have it on the website listed as the story unfolds the way you want it to, which, we'll see about that. So they talk mostly about the gym challenge. So they talk about 3 stories in particular, but the one they talk about most is the gym challenge. Because, that's what we usually do in Pokemon stories, you go you go through all of the 8 gyms, and then you beat the Elite Four and then the champion, and you win the game. Sometime, and you usually do other stuff along the way. But here, that's presented as simply one of 3 different stories. The other 2 of which they don't really talk about too much. So, it's definitely interesting. They say that in regards to the gym, there is no set path to the gyms. They say you can purposely seek out a stronger gym leader. So like, they say you can purposefully seek out a stronger like gym leader. So that means that some of them are stronger and some of them are weaker as like normal, but like you probably won't know which one's which. So for all you know, you could just walk right up to what would typically be the final gym leader right at the beginning of the game and, completely lose. Totally ridiculous, but, you could do it, technically. And also, since this is Pokemon, people can find some, let's just say, strange strategies. I'm sure you've seen some of those videos of people beating like trainers using like level 1 Pokemon, whatever, or just like using that Endeavor quick attack Rattata strategy. Oh, that's ridiculous. Or also, there's also the usual option of just do poison and then just keep healing until you win and the opponent runs out of HP. Yeah, there's always that, if you don't want to be fun about it. But hey, sometimes you gotta do it if you really want to go that route. But definitely raises the question of how one would want to play this game. Yes. I mean, how I would want to play, I think I would, yeah, it says you can freely go back and forth between all 3 stories, so I guess it's like, you don't have to like choose one of the 3, you can just do all of them, if you want. It's kind of like, in that way, like 3 different games that you're like playing at the same time, sort of, isn't it? Like, you could just keep going with one, you could do them one by one, you could do some, not even bother with the others, or anything. That's pretty interesting. And I'm trying to look about what the other 2 stories are. What are they? I can't remember all this stuff at once. I have to like keep looking it up. But I just remember generally. Yeah, I don't remember what the other 2 are. That's fine. We'll learn more about them anyway. We'll learn about them. So yeah, and okay, and the final thing to talk about is Terastal, which, okay, so there's quite a bit to talk about this. So the way, okay, I'm gonna look it up on the normal trailer, because when I saw this on the normal trailer, it was just, okay, so this would be like, what would you call it? The gimmick of this game? Like, that seems to be what people call them, but, you know what I mean. Okay, so the starting in Generation 6, right? For in Gen 6 we had Mega Evolution. Gen 7 we had Z moves. Gen 8 we had Dynamax and Gigantamax. And now in Gen 9 we have Terastal. Terastal or Terastalizing. Terastalizing. Yeah, that's how you say it. Okay. So yeah, this is the fourth gimmick, as people call them. So, let's not call them gimmicks. What should I call them? Like, I think I would rather call them like single super button mechanic. Yeah, that's a better name. That sounds better. Single super button mechanic. Because one major thing that all these mechanics have in common is that you press a big giant button and then you do something that you can only do in a limited amount, but still has a big flashy effect. Yeah, so it's something you can only do once in the battle, once per battle. You press a big giant button to do it, and it has like a big centralizing effect on the gameplay. So, and with the exception of Mega Evolutions, it's something that every single Pokemon is able to do, and again, with the exception of Mega Evolutions, there's also a variant where some Pokemon still get exclusive versions of it anyway, so even though every Pokemon can do it, some of them get special, better versions. You know, like with Z moves, they didn't really have a name for them. They're just like, you know, exclusive Z moves. In addition to the regular 18 regular Z moves for each type, there's also special Z moves for specific Pokemon. Did some Pokemon get like 2 of them? Oh. Whereas with Mega Evolution, it's not something every Pokemon can do, it's only certain of them. Now, with Dynamax, it was something every Pokemon can do, but there was also Gigantamax, which only certain Pokemon could do, and it was like more specific, and like an actual transformation. Okay, so here's the thing, these single super button mechanics, I keep almost saying gimmick, but that's not what they are. So the first one was a transformation, the second one was a sort of super move, the third one was like sort of both at the same time, but like not really. But this one is interesting, sort of. I'll give it that. It's definitely very interesting. So it's kind of like taking the Dynamax route, where okay, and I don't think we have yet seen any version of this which is exclusive to any one in Pokemon. These seem to be of like something so far that any Pokemon can do. In the art, you see. Okay, not the art. No. First of all, let's talk about what happens in the trailer, how it's shown in the trailer. So first of all, okay, so how does it happen? Where's the part? I'm looking at the trailer right now. The mysterious Terastal phenomenon. Okay, here's how it's shown in the trailer. First of all, it's shown with Eevee, and the symbol appears in front of Eevee, and the camera zooms in, and oh, what are all these crystals coming out of the ground and obscuring the Pokemon? And then shiny light and boom! There you go. Okay. And yeah, then you later see that yes, you do press a big button, just like you do with Dynamax and, you know, all the others. And what happens is what happens is they put this sort of crystal-like visual effect on the Pokemon, which I actually think looks really, really nice. They look all like shiny and crystally and stuff. Though I don't think their actual model geometries change, cause like, come on, they're not gonna do that for every single one of them. That's silly. But in addition to that, though, it seems like every single type has its own exclusive, like, sort of hat or crown, sort of. We see, so okay, what ones have we seen so far? We've seen the one for grass type, water type, fire type, normal type, and flying type. So yeah, we've seen those 5 types, and I don't think we've seen any of the other ones. So yeah, I'm like, okay, so here's the thing about these. These are really, really exaggerated. Like, wow, very, very exaggerated. It's not just the crystal effect on the Pokemon's body. No, they have to have these giant exaggerated crowns on their heads. So in the art, we see Eevee has the normal type crown, and it is, well, first of all, it looks the most like an actual crown. It's like a giant gem with 2, or actually might be 3 gems on the side. And also, another thing to note is that all of these crowns seem to have like a small symbol in the center where it looks like a pair of angry eyes, which I'm guessing what that means is that there's probably some legendary Pokemon that's responsible for this entire thing. But like, okay, let's talk about the other 4. The normal type one easily looks the best, which is strange because, you know, normal type. You would expect that normal would be the most plain looking. But yeah, okay, grass type is just a bunch of flowers coming out of the Pokemon's head, which is looks, how do they stay balanced like that, you know? It's kind of silly but kind of nice. It's kind of silly looking, but kind of nice looking at the same time. I don't know. It's very weird. Okay, so you see these giant flowers coming out of Sprutito's head, and they're like almost as big as it is. Same for, not as much with the fire type one, where it's just a bunch of giant candles coming out of the head. Again, it looks very big and exaggerated. With the water type one, it looks kind of nice. It's kind of like a sort of spray of water coming out, which looks more nicer. Definitely second best to the normal type one. The normal type one, okay, I've already talked about that one. So, and where's the flying type one? I need to look it up. Okay, so for the flying type one, we see on Drifloon. Drifloon is shown with the flying type one, and it's just a bunch of balloons coming out of like a puffy cloud, which you know, how do they float? But okay, obviously it's just a visual effect. You know, they're not actually, you know. But yeah, that's we've seen 5 of these so far. There's going to be one for each type, and that's all just like visually speaking. That's all just like visually speaking. So this is like the big game mechanic that they're going to be having for this game. Wow. All of that, and I've only just talked about how it looks, not how the gameplay is. Wow. Okay, wow. So, yeah, Terastal. So, yep, and okay, they definitely talk about it in the same way they talk about with Dynamax about how, oh, using this mechanic, they even say gain the upper hand in battle. Yeah, I think they even described Dynamax in the same way back when Gen 8 was about to come out. Yeah, so they definitely market it in that way. They call it a transformation. It's sort of not really a transformation though, isn't it? Though it's like Dynamax. It's kind of more like an effect. Personally, I wouldn't have done it this way. I think I would have kept the like crystal-like effect, and maybe instead just have like, I don't know, like for example with the fire type one, maybe have like sort of floating fire surrounding the Pokemon or something like that. You know, something like that. Just not as exaggerated like that. Or maybe if they wanted to go with the crowns, just not have them be this exaggerated. Okay, I really need to talk about the gameplay. So what happens is, just like the other ones, you press a big giant button and then a thing happens. So in this case, what happens is that this changes the Pokemon's type, which, okay, so we've seen Pokemon changing their types in lots of other gameplay, but never to this degree where it's like made like a central mechanic. You can, okay, so there's like the protein ability, for example, where every time you use, I think it's only when you use a damaging move. Okay, so every time you use a damaging move, your Pokemon will change to the type of that move, which is annoying, as I'm sure, to the person on the receiving end of that, because that means every single move will gain same type attack bonus, same type attack bonus, STAB, with every single time, and that boosts the damage. So, and obviously then, oh, what if they like change into like a ghost type or something, and you're trying to use like fighting type move, and then whoops, they're a ghost type now, even though they weren't like a turn ago, and now you just wasted your turn and did no damage at all. Yeah, that every single Pokemon can now do that. Every single one of them can now do that. But, you know, instead of every turn, it's just once. But you also don't know what the type's gonna be, so... Cause here's the thing, they're like... It's kind of also like hidden power. So, for those that don't know, with hidden power... Okay, so it used to be determined differently. It used to be determined by, like, IVs and stuff. But now I think it's determined by, like, its own separate thing. That doesn't matter. The point is, it's like with hidden power, it's like when you use hidden power, the type of the move is different every time. It could be a fire type move or water type or whatever. It could be anything, except fairy for some reason, because that didn't exist when the time the move came out. But whatever. The point is that every single Pokemon you catch has a assigned hidden power type. So that's kind of what this is as well. Every single Pokemon has an assigned Terra type, which I don't know how different that's going to be from hidden power, but that's what this is. So it's kind of like a combination of protein and hidden power, which is kind of interesting. But to be honest, I don't still completely understand this. We'll definitely have to see how this works, honestly, because this is quite more involved. Okay, so like, if they're going to keep doing these single super button mechanics, I said it. If they're gonna keep doing this, then at least make them interesting. Because I definitely will say this. This is definitely the most interesting one so far. This is very interesting. So you can have like. So you have like a Terra type for your Pokemon in addition to its actual type, and I'm guessing like when you press the button and use Terastal, your Pokemon becomes its Terra type. So and they even mention that you gain additional. You even gain additional same type attack bonus, except they don't call it that, obviously. But also you still get same type attack bonus from the Pokemon's usual type. So it's kind of like 3 of them now, and one of them's boosted, even more than usual. So yeah, that's definitely very interesting, and I think that might be it, right? Right? Oh, and yeah, they're giving away a special Pikachu flying Terra type Pikachu as an event, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, Terastal, definitely. Like, honestly, when I was watching the trailer, okay, in the last trailer is when I thought they would reveal this. I was thinking that, oh, they're gonna reveal the single super button mechanic in the last batch of news, but they didn't. I also thought that this time we were gonna get the starter evolutions. They didn't, but now we saw the single super button mechanic, and it's kind of it's okay. It's fine. I definitely think this one is pretty good for what they're trying to go for. Also, just like with Dynamax and Gigantamax, which had raids like Dynamax raids, there also is raids for Terastal. So those exist, and they seem to be pretty similar. If you look at the screenshots, they're pretty similar. One thing that is quite different is that they say that like there's not gonna be like turns, like you don't have to wait for other people to finish their turns, so that's pretty interesting. It's kind of it's like the first time, to my knowledge at least, where Pokemon's gone away from the turn-based battling like this, but it's in raids, so you know it's not exactly normal battles, but not turn-based. That's pretty much the only thing different about it, though. There's other smaller details, I guess. It is obviously going to be a bit different, you know, because it's a different mechanic. And yeah, that's not really much to say about raids yet. So another thing I guess I'm wondering though is, because we've only seen 5 of the Terastal crowns, I wonder what the Psychic type one is gonna look like. I wonder what the Psychic type crown will look like. You know, Psychic's my favorite type. I imagine it'll be somewhat similarly exaggerated like all the others, which is fine, I guess. And I mean, like, yeah, Mega Evolution's the only one where where not every single type has its own thing. But the other ones, it's all like each type has its own of it. I'm talking about this, you know, the single super button mechanics. That's what I'm calling them. Yeah. So like, the Psychic type Z move is pretty good. The Psychic type Max move is pretty good, and hopefully the Psychic type Terastal crown will be cool looking as well. Because I don't imagine that there's that much beyond just changing your type, at least not that we know of right now. But yeah, that's I don't think there's pretty much anything else. I don't think there's anything else, and I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, with that, I guess thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like because it helps the channel a lot. And be sure to subscribe for some more of Pokemon news. Thanks for watching. Bye.